Alright, shalom, shalom. Shabbat Abba, Shabbat, Shabbat, Florida. Come in spirit and power, power, Shem, Shai, Shem, Dash, all the lawyer, YAHAWASHI, Yahawah, Dash. That wants to know the apostles, the great millstone, rule well. I was thinking under salutation, highest sincere brothers, constitution, spiritual sincerity. I also want to say peace and blessings, also to the seven men, women, and children, like a sister, and one third. Peace and blessings be into the confusion of faces as well. Alright, shalom to you. Basically, I read this article and it hit the cue. It's like it hit a few key points that I wanted to go over. I was thinking about, because America trying to be the big bully on the block, that basically trying to dictate the world, trying to tell how all the other countries are supposed to basically do business with one another, and how they are to abide by the rules, which would be like the sanctions that's put on other countries. All right, but preferably they're talking to the EU about not befriending who America would consider their foe. All right, so let alone this country may not even be a foe one to you, but because I have an issue with them, I want you to abide by these sanctions as well. Well, what has been a result of that is EU. All right, EU lost over 100 billion. But when I did the calculation, it's really over 113 billion in American dollars. All right, because of its own anti-Russia sanctions. Okay, so these are sanctions that America has put on Russia that the EU also had to abide by. But understand what the outcome of that was for the EU. All right, so let's scroll down. It says the EU is punishing itself for doing Washington's bidding and sanctioning Russia. EU is punishing itself for doing righteous, just like itself for doing biddings and sanctioning Russia. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said. However, while the restrictions policy does not harm the U.S., the EU suffers billions in losses. So that little whole tit for tat thing that was going on, boom, I'm gonna hit China with this sanction, but China gonna have to counter you. Well, I'm gonna hit China with this sanction, but China got to counter you. Well, even when that was going on, the amount of money that China makes off America, I mean, even if America was to put sanctions on every single item that basically that they send towards you, it's like every single item that you export to them, you're making more money off of America, so you will hurt yourself. So now that's why you have the de-dollaration of the BABAL. I mean, not the of the American dollar. So like it, you have the de-dollaration of the American dollar. Okay, and Russia is in the forefront of doing that. So now, with that being said, read this part. Read what the curtain says. The mythical Russian threat is forced upon the Europeans primarily from the outside. So who would the outside be? That would be America. All right, Lavrov said. The main bone of contention between the EU and Russia is sanctions. So in other words, the only reason why EU and Russia bumping heads is because of sanctions. Like that's only the real reason why they bumping heads. But who's the one that's basically putting forth these sanctions on Russia and then having the other countries who are supposed to be its allies abiding by it? America's the one that's putting out the sanctions on Russia, and EU and other neighboring countries are suffering for it. All right? So the main bone of contention between the EU and Russia, sanctions, were imposed by the European nations on direct orders from Washington. That's why we always say America is the whore that rides on the beast, man, that has 7 heads and 10 horns. Because America is the main America, Babylon, virgin daughter of Babylon. That's the woman on that beast, and America rides on the back of all the other countries, man. Cause they dictate them, man. They tell them how to maneuver, how to spend their money. That's why they have something called the petrodollar. You can't sell your own oil from your own land over the international market without using my currency. That's straight pimping, man. That's extortion. All right. Anyways, it says estimates of losses incurred by the EU states from the sanctions vary. According to some estimates, they might amount to over 100. I'm gonna say 113 billion American dollars. All right.
It's important that European politicians understand this, man. So here it is, America trying to pull their weight, or should I say, throw their weight around, all right, abuse their power, and then look at this now, because you've been a partaker of that, you falling, you crumbling. You know, you're not making that money that you were supposed to be making, all because Donald Trump is upset that Kim Jong Un, somebody else, scratched their left butt cheek rather than their right. I'm just saying, it's like it's foolishness. But we already know that it's because of YAHAWASHI. No, that's the reason why these things are happening. Because Yahweh said that He ruled from the kingdom of men, and all kingdoms of man is here on this earth. So He's controlling the mind of all these other nations. All right. So bear with me real quick. Now this right here is another article I pulled out. It says Russia's gold reserves smashed Soviet-era record as part of Moscow's de-dollarization drive. All right, so Russia and other countries, man, they've been banking on their gold, their gold reserve, man. They say, all right, this dollar, we finna drop this dollar, so we finna focus more on this gold. Well, that's what's been happening lately, right? Check this out. The Central Bank of Russia bought over 92 tons of gold in the 3 months to the end of September, breaking the Soviet peak of 2,000 tons in gold reserves seen in 1941, according to a new report by the World Gold Council. Right? See, so whenever you making big moves with your money, everybody's watching. You get what I'm saying? So now you know that. Now you know they've been moving heavyweight in gold, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because they don't want to deal with that dollar. Everybody can deal with gold, but you don't have to deal with a currency that's been man-made. Gold has been around from the beginning, man. Shekels, silver shekels, gold shekels or nickel, all of that. It says the Central Bank of Russia bought over 92 tons of gold. All right, remember that. In the 3 months to the end of September. So I'm gonna keep going down. But it's a little bit more down here because most of it goes into the history. But I want to get into a few key points of them of doing this. Boom, right here. The Central Bank of Russia will keep adding bullion, all right, that's gold, to its reserves, while reducing the share of U.S. sovereign bond holdings at the same time. So while we racking up on this gold, hey man, go ahead and take care of this American money. I don't want it. They're pushing it to the side. Here, take this. But we racking up on this gold. Why? Because when all the nations say they done with the dollar, okay, we can deal with our own currency or we can deal with gold. Understand? Now it says, this is a quote. This is a growing trend over the last 5 years. Make America great again, right? Oh, America never fall. Over the past 5 years, countries, so not just Russia, that's plural, countries have been boosting the share of gold in their reserves, reducing the dollar share. All right. Investments in the U.S. Treasury securities have been in record decline. I think this trend will continue. Go hold on, yeah, about Shimei Shai. Now, with that being said, understand this as well. Now with them getting rid of the dollar and them starting to deal with gold all of a sudden, right? And now you have it where it was some EU countries, I forgot which countries. Or matter of fact, no, I think it was EU himself. EU said that they opened up their own avenue. They opened up their own what's what I'm looking for, monetary passage. I forgot the exact word for them to do international transactions and international deals economically wise with Iran. They said, forget that. We're going to open up our own way so that these sanctions won't hinder what we're trying to do. Same thing with Russia, man. Here, boom, Russia and China, here. We're going to find another way that we can spend this money together, but we ain't got to have America as the middleman. And that's what's been happening lately, man. And that's all through the spirit and power of YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI. Okay? Now I'm going to bring out Proverbs chapter 19, and I'm just go to verse 4. It says, wealth maketh many friends, but the poor is separated from his neighbor, right? All right, and America got rich off of what? Off of hardcore bondage, off of our slavery. That's what America got rich off of. All right, so wealth maketh many friends, and it's about over 80% of the world at that time with cotton. Right. So all this money, you see all this money moving in the NYSE, New York Stock Exchange, with all the other countries, man. America made friends with them because they got free labor and they had to pay no one. They didn't have to pay any of us. We slept in the barn with the animals and everything. So all this money you see this being spent worldwide through all these countries, that's old money. That's slave money, man. And they all put their hands in on it. Okay, they all had a part with us going down as a nation. You so-called nigger Latinos and Native Americans, you are the Hebrew Israelites, man. All right, so they all benefited from it. So now, all right, wealth maketh many friends. All right, now I'm gonna jump down to verse 6. Many will entreat the favor of the prince. Okay, and right now, think about the prince, a king or emperor or a dictator. You will look at Donald Trump. You will look at Vladimir Putin. Okay, you will look at Kim Jong Un. You will look at the head of France, the head of China, the head of Iran. You know, and every man is a friend to him that giveth gifts. That's why the scripture says what? It says, surely a pressure maketh the wise man mad, and the gift destroyeth the heart. All right, destroys your mind. Think about those countries over there. Was it Zimbabwe? Zimbabwe? That was country was over there in Africa. That basically took a loan from America. That was a gift, so to say, knowing they couldn't pay it back. Now that dollar is worth nothing, man. Like $1 million of that dollars is not even worth probably a couple U.S. dollars, man. Understand what I'm saying? So that destroyed them as well. But that's what you get for dealing with America, man. All right? Because if you dance with a serpent, you will get bit, so to say. Now let's go to Proverbs 28, verse 6. It says, better is the poor that walketh in his uprightness than he that is perverse in his ways, though he be rich. All right? So it's like even the acts and the tactics that they're doing. Because the word, when you go into the word perverse, because it even says in the Bible, perverse in the Bible, people think about perverse, they think about a pervert, like someone who like be looking up women's skirts or peeking at a woman urinating in the bathroom. No, when you go into the Bible, even in the New Testament, it said those who pervert the gospel. If you go into that word pervert, it means corrupt. All right, so we really read it. It says, let me just read all over again. Proverbs 28:6. Better is the poor that walketh in his uprightness than he that is corrupt. I'm not adding to the word, but I'm just saying. Than he that is perverse in his ways, though he be rich. All right. So yeah, they rich, they got money, but they still corrupt in their ways, and that's how they really got rich. All right, especially in America. From the first and foremost, they got rich off of slavery. Listen to the word stock. Oh, I have stocks and I have a portfolio with a stock in it in NYSE, New York Stock Exchange. Well, guess what the first stock was? It was actually us, the so-called nigger Latinos and Native Americans. That's why we see those blocks with us stand up on. All right, that goes right back to us being sold. And then even if you think about it in the Olympics, you have the 4x1, the hundreds, you have the first, second, and third. Those are the same blocks, man, because you representing a country, and that country is really like a corporation or a plantation. So that how you stand up on the block and be like, boom, selling for this much, man. So who was the first stock? All right. What are you doing when you at a store? You are stocking goods. We were their goods, man. And the Heavenly Father, He did not forget about that. Okay? It says, better is the poor that walketh in his uprightness than he that is perverse in his ways, though he be rich. All right. And matter of fact, since I pulled that out, I got another precept I want to bring out real quick. All right, Shalom back. This is what I was looking for. This is Exodus chapter 21, verse 16. And he that stealeth a man and selleth him. So let's even look past the so-called Negroes, and so-called Jamaicans and so-called Haitians coming here on ships, which we did. But it said he that stealeth him, man, we was stolen, okay, and selleth him. Now, were not also Spanish-speaking tribes who would be the so-called Native Americans who was here, the native people of this land, so to say? And what about the Navajo, the Apache, the Cherokee, the Seminole, all those Indian tribes? So you had the Spanish-speaking tribes, all right? You had the Native American tribes, and you had the so-called Negro tribes, all right? and we all were sold. All right, so let's read that again. This is in the Bible. Okay, Exodus 21:16. He that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. So when YAHWASHI Yahushua come back, who do you think the Most High gonna see with us in their hands? Esau, Edom, are all the nations, because we spread to the four corners of the earth, man. All right. So all this money, man, that they have here, all that belongs to the Lord. They got to give all that right back to YAHWASHI Yahushua, man. All right. James chapter 5 verse 1, it says, "Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you." All right. For your riches are corrupted. Remember what I read, the word perverse? Spirit right here. Your riches are, well, your spirits are. Your riches are corrupted and your garments moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is canker. So even for them other countries, oh, I had nothing to do with it. That gold you got, man, that's our gold anyhow. All right? And the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasure together for the last days, man. They have heaped it together for the last days, man. Understand? So even all the gold and everything that you have, that belongs to Yahweh Shemi Yahushai. Matter of fact, hold on, let me get that. This is what I was looking for. Haggai 2:8. The silver is mine, and the gold is mine, saith the Lord of hosts. Come. So, hey, all this that you're gathering up for the last days, who are you gathering for? Yahweh Shema Shai. And for us, does not it say in the book of Revelation that our streets shall be paved with gold? Why do you think you racking up all this gold, man? You racking it up for us, man, for our kingdom that you're gonna build through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai. Alright? Nonetheless, though, I'm just gonna close out with that real quick. I pray you were edified with this video. Alright? I will give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Chakadash. The one to my other apostles, great millstone. Think honor, salutation, nice, sensitive brothers. Alright, peace and blessings to the sensitive man, women, church, that consists of the 1/3. Peace and blessings also to the confusion and face. Call me out, Allah, walk with the ball. Shalom.